The silhouette of Rangitoto Island in Auckland's Waitemata Harbour is so familiar, iconic almost. The island is well known for its natural and geological values. However, tucked in amongst the Pahurikawa forest are hidden examples of the classic Kiwi summer batch. Built during the Depression era of the 1920s and 30s, these lovingly crafted holiday homes are a fantastic example of the Kiwi do-it-yourself attitude we all hold so dear.
Who's playing? Who's playing? Who's playing at the dance tonight? I wanna know who's playing. I gotta go. Who's playing? I wanna know who's playing at the dance tonight. Who's playing at the dance tonight?
The first batches were built in 1911. Before that, they were camping sites. The last one was built in 1937. The first lot of batches were removed in the 50s, in 57, when people couldn't prove ownership. Boats were wrecked deliberately on Rangitoto Island at a place called Shipwreck Bay. Now the leaseholders, the people who owned the batches, were very good at getting down to those boats and taking stuff off it that they wanted. So this batch has got stuff off the rewa. This is what used to be called Drunks Bay. So the boats in the old days used to come, pick up all their crew, which were terribly, terribly drunk from being on shore, come here, anchor, sober them all up, and then head off.
Right.
But it was changed to Islington Bay when one of the royalty came here and they named it in his honour.
So this was the tennis court?
Yes, it is.
They didn't do things by halves.
No, they made it very flat as well and really good for tennis.
And they didn't just have the court?
No, you had to have the tennis pavilion. Come in.
Wow!
At times there'll be parties down here, like there's the annual Drunks Ball. The family that had this had a family of girls, and there used to be a little mirror by the front door, but when there were balls and dances here, the girls were always powdering their faces as they went out, and the father got annoyed, so he put a big mirror in here for the girls of the house. One of the batches up at the lighthouse needed water tanks, so in Auckland in the old days the fishing trawlers used to go out, get the fish, come back and gut the fish. All the guts used to go on a boat, and the boat used to go back out and dump it all. So the father put these water tanks on his gut boat, got them as far as the lighthouse, threw them over the side and then pushed them, and he swam them in. Well, believe it or not, we're working into a swimming pool.
Really?
Yes.
Back in the day, it used to be a swimming pool?
Yes, and it still is actually a swimming pool. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's a tidal swimming pool. So when the tide comes in, the pool fills up. When the tide goes out, the pool goes away again. And every child learnt to swim in this pool on this island. And the Queen of Rangitoto, Vi Leach, she was known as the Queen, used to have certificates. And if you managed to swim a certain distance, you got one of Auntie Vi's certificates.
The historic Rangitoto Island batches are a great example of the quintessential Kiwi holiday, where swimming, bushwalking, fishing and social occasions were enough to make for a fantastic trip. So before you reach for your passport, why not spend a holiday exploring your own beautiful backyard?